Hi everyone, you ever have potatoes that are about to go bad? I had some on hand, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to slice them up real thin, and then I'm going to get rid of some of those brown spots. You can see they're still good, but they just have a couple of brown spots there. And I'm going to mix them together with some pepper and some cheese and some milk, and I'm going to bake them in the oven. And I'm going to make a side dish for dinner today. So I'll show you how it goes. Here we go, guys. I have all my potatoes all sliced up as thin as I could with a knife. You can see they're pretty thin, but slice them as thin as you can get them. And these are 3 potatoes, and those are all my brown bits that didn't look like the potato were going bad. So I just cut those off, and I'm going to put the potatoes in some cold water, and I'll show you what I'm doing with the peppers that I showed you earlier. And here are my peppers. I have them on an open flame. I don't know if you can see that, probably can't see it, but it's on an open flame, and I'm charring the flesh, you see? So I'm taking the peppers and I'm putting them on an open flame so that all the skin can get black like that there, or a good majority of it. And then I'm going to put it inside of a plastic sandwich bag or something like that, and I'm going to let it steam, and then the skin is going to separate from the flesh, and then I'll be able to peel all of that black skin off, but it will have that nice roasted flavor. So when I layer them between the potatoes and the cheese and the milk and all of that, it will be kind of like making a lasagna. So you put a layer of potatoes, you put a layer of cheese, you put a layer of peppers, and then you pour enough milk about halfway up so that it can cook and kind of steam in the oven. There you go. You can see our peppers are all blistered up. They're nice and black now, so I'm going to put them in this freezer bag, and then I'm going to just set it aside. I'm just going to set this freezer bag aside and let it sit for about 5 minutes so that the skin can separate from the flesh. And then I'll just use a paper towel and then kind of rub off the skin, and I'll show you that once I'm done. And I'm going to put these potatoes inside some cold water so that they don't turn brown. Let me do that now. Here's our peppers. I took off the skin using the back of a spoon, or using a spoon or the back of a knife, and I just scraped it off. And it came off really easily after putting it in the sandwich bag. And you just don't want to run them under hot water or any water, because if you run them under water, you'll lose their flavor. Okay, so we have everything ready to start layering. There's our potatoes, our cheese, our salt and pepper, and then we have our milk over there. So I'm going to put everything inside of a cast iron pot here. This is a 10-inch pan, and I'm just going to spray it with a little cooking spray to help it come out later. So let me do that. I'll do the first layer, and then I'll come back to show you. Here's our first layer. I did 1 layer of potatoes, and I layered them so that they cover the bottom. And I did 2 stacks of potatoes, but I just kind of layered them. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to make it look better. So here's our first layer. This is a layer of potatoes, a layer of cheese, and a layer of peppers. I've never actually made this before, so we're going to be learning it together. So this is about probably 2 stacks, like 2 stacks of potatoes on top of each other, just layered all the way around to cover the whole pan, and I'll show you it. Let me do another layer, and I'll show you that step by step. You see, I just put a layer of potatoes on top of the peppers, and so now I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt and pepper to the potatoes, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon actually of salt and pepper, and then I'll add maybe about 2 tablespoons of cheese, and then I'll add another layer of and then I'll add another layer of peppers. So let me show you that. So here's a little pinch of salt and pepper. I'm going to add a sprinkle of cheese. I don't know if I should be adding the cheese first or the peppers, but we'll see. And here's another layer of peppers. So we're just going to keep repeating this until all of our ingredients are gone. A layer of potatoes, cheese, salt, pepper, and peppers until everything's used up. So here's how it's looking. That's the potato, poblano peppers, cheese, and I just poured a little bit of milk, or enough milk to reach about halfway up the sides. So we're going to see how it comes out together. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna cover it with some foil, and then I'm gonna put it in a pan or put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes, probably 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna take a look at it and then give it as long as it needs to cook the rest of the way. So I'll let you know how it goes. So here it is, the scalloped potatoes. It looks like it's pretty good. It looks nice. I'm gonna serve it with some salmon. Thanks for cooking with me today. But there it is, the scalloped potatoes with poblano peppers, Parmesan cheese, a little milk, and some potatoes. I hope you give it a try. It cooked for about probably like 45 minutes on 400 degrees, and then I took off the top and put it in for like another 5 minutes so that it can get brown. But it looks pretty good. See you guys next time.